General Benjamin O. Davis, Sr., stands as one of the most important figures in the history of the United States military, not just for his impressive service record, but for his role in challenging the deeply ingrained racial barriers that existed during his time. As the first African-American general officer in the United States Army, Davis's career is a testament to perseverance, leadership, and an unrelenting commitment to service in the face of adversity. His journey was shaped by a desire for equality and fairness, and he left an indelible mark on the U.S. military and the broader struggle for civil rights in America. Born on July 1st, 1877, in Washington, D.C., Davis grew up in a world where racial segregation and discrimination were institutionalized in almost every aspect of American life. Although slavery had been abolished more than a decade earlier, African Americans were still treated as second-class citizens in the United States. Segregation laws, commonly known as Jim Crow laws, prevented black people from enjoying equal rights in education, housing, employment, and public accommodations. The military, too, was no exception to these restrictions. African American soldiers were relegated to segregated units and were often given menial tasks, far removed from combat roles or leadership positions. Despite these obstacles, Benjamin O. Davis Sr. managed to rise through the ranks, a feat that was almost unthinkable in his time. Davis's military career began in 1898, at the height of the Spanish-American War. It was a time when opportunities for African Americans in the military were extremely limited, and racism permeated the armed forces. Nevertheless, Davis enlisted in the 8th U.S. Volunteer Infantry, an all-black regiment, and began his service as a temporary first lieutenant. This was the beginning of a long and challenging career that would see Davis rise to heights that no African American had reached before him. His early years in the military were difficult, as he faced constant discrimination and prejudice from both his fellow soldiers and his superiors. Despite these challenges, Davis remained determined to prove his worth as a capable and courageous leader. One of the most significant moments in Davis's early career came during his service with the 9th Cavalry, one of the units known as the Buffalo Soldiers. These units were made up of African American troops who were primarily assigned to duties in the western territories of the United States. The Buffalo Soldiers had a long and distinguished history, but their contributions were often overlooked because of the color of their skin. Davis took great pride in his association with the Buffalo Soldiers, and it was through his service with them that he honed his leadership skills. He gained the respect of both his men and his commanders, and his competence on the battlefield did not go unnoticed. Throughout his career, Davis encountered numerous instances of discrimination, but he never allowed these experiences to define him. Instead, he used them as motivation to continue excelling in his duties. One of the defining characteristics of Davis's leadership style was his insistence on discipline and professionalism, traits that earned him the respect of his subordinates and peers alike. He knew that in order to break down the barriers of racism within the military, he had to be twice as good as his white counterparts. This meant holding himself to the highest possible standards, even when faced with unfair treatment. One of the most frustrating realities for Davis was that, despite his exemplary service record, he was often passed over for promotions in favor of less qualified white officers. It was not until 1940, after more than 4 decades of service, that Davis was finally promoted to the rank of Brigadier General, making him the first African-American general officer in U.S. military history. This promotion was a momentous occasion, but it was also a bittersweet one, as it highlighted the long-standing institutional racism that had delayed his advancement for so many years. Nonetheless, Davis's promotion was a significant victory, not just for him personally, but for African Americans across the country. It showed that Despite the obstacles placed in their way, black men and women could achieve positions of power and influence through hard work and determination. Davis's promotion to general also marked a turning point in the U.S. military's attitude toward African American soldiers. His success paved the way for future generations of black servicemen and women to rise through the ranks, and it helped to challenge the entrenched belief that African Americans were inherently inferior to their white counterparts. However, even after his promotion, Davis continued to face challenges. Many white officers still refused to accept his authority, and he often found himself marginalized within the military hierarchy. Nevertheless, Davis remained committed to his mission of serving his country and advancing the cause of racial equality. One of Davis's most important contributions to the U.S. military was his work in improving the conditions for African American soldiers. Throughout his career, he advocated tirelessly for the desegregation of the armed forces and for better treatment of black soldiers. His efforts culminated in 1948 when President Harry S. Truman issued Executive Order 9981, which mandated the desegregation of the U.S. military. While Davis was not directly responsible for this order, his decades of service and advocacy undoubtedly played a role in convincing the military and political leaders of the time that segregation was not only unjust, but also detrimental to the effectiveness of the armed forces. Davis's legacy is also evident in the success of his son, Benjamin O. Davis Jr., who followed in his father's footsteps to become a pioneering African American officer in the U.S. Air Force. Like his father, Benjamin O. Davis Jr. faced numerous challenges due to his race, but he too rose to the rank of general and became a trailblazer in his own right. The success of the Davis family is a powerful reminder of the importance of perseverance in the face of adversity and the impact that one person's determination can have on the broader fight for equality. The story of General Benjamin O. Davis Sr. is one of quiet determination and unyielding commitment to justice. Throughout his long and distinguished career, he faced constant prejudice and discrimination, yet he never allowed these obstacles to deter him from his goal of serving his country and improving the lives of African Americans in the military. His promotion to Brigadier General was a groundbreaking achievement, but it was also a reminder of the deeply entrenched racism that African Americans had to overcome in order to succeed. Davis's legacy is one of service, leadership, and a steadfast belief in the principles of fairness and equality. In reflecting on Davis's impact, it is important to recognize that his story is not just about one man's success, but about the broader struggle for civil rights and the dismantling of institutional racism in the United States. Davis's career spanned a period of profound social and political change in America, from the post-Reconstruction era through the early stages of the Civil Rights Movement. His achievements are emblematic of the progress that African Americans have made in the face of overwhelming odds, and they serve as a powerful reminder of the work that remains to be done. In many ways, General Benjamin O. Davis Sr.'s story is also the story of the United States itself, a country founded on the ideals of liberty and equality, but one that has often fallen short of those ideals in practice. Davis's life and career are a testament to the idea that true progress can only be achieved through perseverance and a willingness to challenge the status quo. His promotion to general was not just a personal victory, but a symbol of the slow but steady dismantling of the barriers that had kept African Americans from achieving their full potential in the military and beyond. General Benjamin O. Davis Sr. left a lasting legacy, not only through his own accomplishments, but through the example he set for future generations. His story is one of resilience, leadership, and a deep commitment to justice. And it continues to inspire those who seek to create a more just and equitable society. In recognizing his contributions, we honor not only his achievements, but the broader struggle for civil rights that he helped to advance. General Benjamin O. Davis Sr.'s journey was one of immense challenges and triumphs. He broke barriers not just for himself, but for countless African Americans who came after him. His life's work was a testament to what can be achieved with courage, discipline, and an unrelenting sense of purpose. His story is one of perseverance against a system that was designed to hold him back, but through his leadership and determination, he paved the way for a more inclusive military and a more just society. His legacy lives on, not just in the history books, but in the ongoing efforts to ensure that the ideals of equality and justice are upheld for all. If you like this video and know someone in the military, please share it with them. Thank you for watching.